Hey everyone, it's Jensen again for some more sports talk and more ramblings, more truth, and 100% accurate opinions that are, absolutely what should happen. Anyways, last time we were talking about the college football playoff rankings and how absurd they are, how Alabama, even though they might very well be the best team in the country, they don't deserve to be the number 2 team right now. They could work their way up to that, but there are other teams that are more deserving right now. Anyways, Joel Klatt, college football analyst, he made some good points that I wanted to agree with. One was he thinks that teams should be ranked based on their merits, not on how good you think they are. Again, who deserves to be that, which is absolutely the only thing that should be. And then he also brought up a point with the college football playoff being 4 teams has really diminished what everyone else is doing in college football, meaning that most of the 130 teams that are in it are meaningless, which I have to agree. I think that's been a poor thing on that. Back before bowl games used to mean a lot more than they do now, and I think that's a shame. And so that has led me, originally I thought 8 was a good number for the playoff, but I've sort of been convinced to move up to 12. You can't get too high because you've got to make sure that the regular season remains just vital. Which is another reason why I think Alabama losing and is still ranked 2. I mean, how much does the regular season mean if you can lose a game and still be ranked 2? Anyways, but that's part of what makes college football so great is the games. Every single game means so much, so you've got to keep that. But with 12, I think that would open it up to every conference champion. If you're undefeated, no matter if you're in the Power 5 or the other ones, then you would have a chance to go to the playoff and win a national championship. And I think that's what needs to happen. Every team moving into the season should have a shot at the national championship. Right now they don't. USC does. So what I'm saying actually hurts USC a little bit, but I don't care. Every team, I think, should have a chance to win the national championship, however remote their possibility is. And then his other thing I don't really like, is like he said 13 people have a bias, and with that few people you're going to have an increase in bias there. That makes sense, but he wanted lots of different committees and lots of different people. I don't know about that. I actually wouldn't mind if you just get like the BCS system again as a part of it. Weigh a couple different things together. I mean, maybe different systems. You weigh the AP poll, you weigh the coaches poll is worthless. The coaches aren't watching teams to know. But you have a playoff committee maybe, and then you have the computer system all rating things, and then have that weighted out and do it that way. Maybe that's more fair. I don't know. It's a thought. I do agree that just 13 people right now, obviously they have their biases, and it's not great. Anyways, let's move into some games this weekend. There's a lot of good ones. This Friday, we've got Utah at Stanford. Utah, if they win this game, they basically won the Pac-12 South. They basically won it already, which is shocking to me. I still can't believe that they've turned things around there, but they have. And so but Stanford is all right. And I still don't believe in Utah. So I think at Stanford, Stanford is going to pull the upset because the Pac-12 South is just up in the air garbage. So I'm going to throw more garbage at everything and see how it goes. All right, we've got Ohio State at Nebraska. You guys know, I think Nebraska is actually a pretty good team. Their record is awful. They lose every single close game. I really feel bad for Scott Frost there, but he might not last because of it. If I were Nebraska, I'd give him another year after this, because they seem to be on the cusp they're not going to be on the cusp of anything here. Ohio State, I think it'll be somewhat close, but Ohio State's going to win. Wake Forest at North Carolina. Wake Forest undefeated. They're getting into the meat of their schedule. They played a very cupcake schedule so far. It'll be a lot harder now, and I do think they are better than North Carolina, so I'm going to go with Wake Forest. We've got Cal and Arizona. Now, these are both awful teams. Why am I talking about it? One, because it's the Pac-12, and I like the Pac-12. Two, because I think Arizona is going to win this game. They're going to break their streak and actually get a win. So that is why I bring it up. I think Arizona over Cal for their first win in like 2.5 years or something like that. We've got Michigan State coming off their big win against Purdue. Purdue spoiled Iowa, and I think Purdue's going to spoil Michigan State. Watch for the Boilermakers to pull the upset here. We've got Auburn, Texas A&M. Again, like I said in the last time, I thought Auburn has surprised me. I'm still not convinced in Texas A&M, so I think Auburn will win, and I think they'll win pretty big. I don't believe in Texas A&M, despite them being ranked high and beating Alabama. We've got Mississippi State at Arkansas. Now, first off, again, pointing out how awful the college football playoff rankings are. They have Mississippi State at like 17. It's just a joke. They've got 3 losses. Anyways, they are better than Arkansas, so I'm going to pick them there. We've got LSU at Alabama. LSU is a joke. I feel bad for Ed Orgeron, but he's not going to do anything against Alabama. Alabama wins comfortably. We have Tennessee at Kentucky. I think the Volunteers will pull the upset. I think Kentucky was playing way above their capabilities earlier in the season. I think they're coming back down to earth, and they'll get another loss there. Back out west, we've got Boise State at Fresno State. I like the Bulldogs to beat Boise State in this one. Close. I don't think either of them are very good. Boise State isn't the Boise State we know, and so I think Fresno State will win, but they're not all that great either. Oh, sorry about the wind. We've got Oregon and Washington. Big game, big rivalry up here in the Northwest, especially with Coach Lake going on about how Washington doesn't recruit against Oregon because there are a bunch of stupid people at Oregon and that they only recruit against high academic schools like USC, Stanford, and Notre Dame and the like. That makes me laugh. I think Oregon's going to win though. Although I will be going for the Dogs. They just have no offense. So Oregon is going to win rather comfortably. We've got Texas and Iowa State. I think Iowa State is going to win that one. And then here's the big one. UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio versus University of Texas El Paso, UTEP. Give me the San Antonio. I think they're going to keep on their run and stay undefeated. And then the greatest game, the most important game, USC going on the road to face the Sun Devils of Arizona State. Let's get some of my thoughts on this. First off, without Drake London, that is just a huge blow. I mean, he was the offense. Let's not kid ourselves. He's basically been the entire team here. So it's going to be really hard to replace him, although USC does have a lot of wide receivers. So they should be able to still do stuff. I think with the 2 quarterback system, I think that's going to throw things off. Again, I would stick with one or the other. And at this point, and now that I've been thinking of it, if Jackson Dart, if you're not just going to go with Jackson Dart, and he's not 100%, then I would probably redshirt him. I don't see, maybe get the Miller Moss in there as the backup. We're not doing anything anyways. I know theoretically there's a chance to win the Pac-12 South. So even though I've been saying go Jackson Dart this entire time, I think I may be saying go Keaton Slovis, get the red shirt for Jackson. You have up to 4 games before it's burned. He's played in, I don't know, 2? Has it only been 2? I think that may be the case, but so maybe put him in another. I wouldn't do the fourth though. I wouldn't burn that. So, I mean, it's a lost season. Why are you going to destroy that? And he still looked a little injured. So go Keaton Slovis, I think. If USC is going to win, they're going to have to run the football with Keontae Ingram, which, you know, sometimes they look like they want to be a running team. Sometimes they look like they're just pure air raid. It's turned out, our air raid has turned out to be just the gumbo offense of Clay Helton again, which is awful. The problem we're going to run into with Arizona State, why I'm nervous about this game for USC, is Arizona State is pretty good at running the football. And they've got a mobile quarterback, and our defense is incapable of stopping anyone right now. I don't know what their problem is, but I don't foresee them making that change. And so I think Arizona State is going to run it down USC's throat. Unfortunately, I think they will win rather comfortably. I think it will be more of the Stanford, Oregon State, Utah type of game rather than anything else in the season. And so I think Arizona State will win big, unfortunately. USC has every capability of winning this game, and so I hope they prove me wrong. But if they don't do anything to stop the run, they will not have a chance to win the game. So, because for some reason, whatever it is, their offense isn't good enough to be Big 12 bad and win a shootout. They just, I don't know what's wrong with them. They just can't do it. They can't sustain drives. They have no rhythm ever. And yeah, that's that. What else is going on? This Saturday, we've got Manchester United versus Manchester City in the Manchester Derby. If Man U doesn't at least draw here, I mean, we'll see what happens with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He may be out. And it may be good. Look at what Chelsea did last season when they got rid of Frank Lampard. I mean, he's great Chelsea, hero and star player, but he wasn't cutting it. They get a new guy in, a good manager, and they end up winning the Champions League. Can Manchester United do something like that? I could see that happen. So that's good to look at. Other big items of the day. Braves won the World Series. Good for them. Moving on from baseball. Basketball is still going on, and it's still not all that. And that is what's important. The other thing I was going to bring up is Eichel got traded from Buffalo to the Las Vegas Golden Knights, which is a good move for them. And they gave away hardly anything to get him, which begs the question, what were the Anaheim Ducks doing? Or any other team in the league? If that was all they got like a couple draft picks and a good up-and-coming player for one of what could be the best players in hockey. Sign me up for that trade any day of the year. Even though Eichel is injured a little bit right now, I don't know why the Ducks didn't pull the trigger on that. Get rid of a couple draft picks and like Comtois or something. I don't know. I would have done it, but they didn't. And so, but they are looking good. The Anaheim Ducks, their youth is looking real good. So, again, they're probably not going to go very far, but they are looking. And Ryan Getzlaf, that's the other good thing, breaks the all-time point total for the Anaheim Duck franchise, passing Teemu Selanne. He's probably the best Duck of all time. Not that he's the best player. I might put both Paul Kariya and Teemu Selanne, and well, we've got several other guys too. Niedermeyer. Ducks have had some good players, but Getzlaf is right up there. I mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion. So anyways, I've been rambling on for far too long now. Hopefully some of these predictions prove me wrong. Hopefully USC wins. We'll see. late night game. All right, well, have it so good.